What up, bitches? It's the misanthropic one, aka He Who Hungers, and I'm back up in this bitch for another rant/review. Today I want to talk about this album right here, Body Count's latest album titled Bloodlust. Now, I've never really discussed Body Count on my channel, even though I should have, and it's been long overdue that I did a rock or metalish type review, because I definitely enjoy rock music, definitely enjoy punk rock, metal, hardcore shit, and yeah, Body Count. For those who never heard of them, they were a group they are a group that was started in the early 90s, maybe even late 80s by Ice-T, the legendary MC. Shout out to my nigga Ice-T. Love that dude. Definitely one of my influences as far as music is concerned, as far as speaking your mind and everything. But he created Body Count because he was a fan of metal, punk, all of that shit, and he states even on this album that his friend Ernie C was a great guitar player, so he wanted to, give him a chance to get on as well. And those of you might remember way back when they first came out, they had a song called Cop Killer that caused so much controversy, and their first run of their first album, just titled Body Count, it was a self-titled album. The first printing of it had to be banned because of that track. They had to re-release it without Cop Killer on there. Me, I'm one of the fortunate guys enough to have the pressing with Cop Killer on it. I managed to run into that many years ago because I knew one of my friends at what was then known as CD World, rest in peace. The manager there, I was good friends with him, and he knew what I liked, and I told him, we were talking about, hardcore bands I liked and punk rock and metal and shit. So I brought up Body Count and I said, yeah, I'm trying to pin down the very first album with Cop Killer on it. So I think it was maybe 1 or 2 weeks later, someone had traded it in, and he called me up, and I managed to cop that shit. So shout out to Tom, wherever you are. All right, but enough of that. Body Count has released, I believe, including this album, I believe 5 albums altogether. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. You have the self-titled, you have Born Dead, what's that one with the blood in the crypt sign on the front? Last Days or Violent Demise, I believe that's what it's called. I'm not too sure about that one, but I love that album. And then you have Manslaughter that came out, I think a couple years ago. But now we're on to this right here, Bloodlust. Okay? Let's jump right into the artwork. I've been rambling enough. Here you got Ice-T wearing a ski mask and holding a silenced pistol. Right there, that's if you open it up all the way. On the back, there's your track listing. Let's open this bitch up. No Lives Matter. And there's the CD there with a shot in the middle, okay? Bullet hole through a glass. Same thing right there. And let me put this back. Open this up. Get the, You got the insert here, which is black. Inside you got the lyrics, lyric book. Nothing really going on in there art-wise except this. In the end, just the band sitting there, homie Ice-T right there. Yeah. So let's get right into this. Obviously, production-wise, well, hold on a minute. We'll just go into the features for this one because this is obviously just straight up instrumental shit. A&R, I won't go into that. Okay, but I will shout out Will Putney. He's the one who produced this whole album. Yeah, he produced, engineered, mixed, and mastered it, okay? And I'll shout out the guys in the group. Obviously, Ice-T. You got Ernie C., who I mentioned before, who's the lead guitar. You got Vincent Price, who is bass. You have One of the Dead, who's a guitar player. Ill Will, not to be confused with Nas's Ill Will, but this is Ill Will, who's a drummer. Shawnee Sean, who's does the sampler and background vocals, and Little Ice, who is Ice-T's son, does the background vocals. Rest in peace. What's the dude that died from here? Was it Beatmaster son? I forget his name. Damn, I got so much on my mind. I'm sorry, but I know a member. I believe that one of the original members died. So rest in peace to him. I know it's gonna come to me after I finish recording this video, but whatever. Rest in peace anyway. Okay, let's get into it. Features on this bitch. You got Dave Mustaine from Megadeth. Legendary shit. I mean, they're all boss fucking moves on here. Only 3 features, by the way. Max Cavalera of Sepultura, Soulfly. Ridiculous. And you got D. Randall Blythe from Lamb of God, one of my favorite metal groups. Modern metal groups. Those are only 3 features on here, but those are cream of the crop gets. You know what I mean? They really add to this album, okay? Concept-wise on this album, you know, when it comes to body count, these guys are mad controversial, especially with Ice-T involved. It's gotta be that way. He's gotta push the envelope, which I have no problem with. I've always respected him for that, whether you agree or disagree with what he says. I've always respected him for that shit. Civil War featuring Dave Mustaine, fucking great track, great way to start the album out. Definitely sets a tone for the album. Obviously, it's kind of like a socio-political concept. Obviously, Civil War. That track alone, it reminds me of what's that album that Ice-T has? One of my favorite ones. I think it was his like 3rd or 4th. I think it was his 3rd album. The Iceberg, Freedom of Speech. The intro on that one is called Shut Up and Be Happy. This track right here is reminiscent of that. It's just a metal version to me. Here, I'll even go into some of the lyrics on here. It's already started, maybe too late to stop. It's already on, they're shooting at cops. They're pushing the line, racism is high. The country's divided, you know the fuck why. I mean, that says it all, you know what I mean? You have the Ski Mask Way, which he's talking about robbing people. All Love Is Lost featuring Max Cavalera. That track is about being backstabbed and you're just totally erased. which I could totally relate to. I don't really forgive that often. It's very rare for me to forgive if you cross the line, if you go that far over it. That's what that song is about. Rain in Blood, Postmortem, 2017. Great track, great cover of Slayer's Rain in Blood. No Lives Matter. Great track. I actually wanted to do a video on this. This is one of the singles off this album. This track really pissed a lot of people off, especially the liberals, which people didn't even listen to the lyrics of what he was trying to convey. People just didn't want to listen to it. They just saw the line "No Lives Matter," and it pissed a lot of liberals off. And I know Ice-T is sort of, I don't want to say he's a liberal, but he's, I don't know, I don't want to speak for him, but I've seen him make statements that sort of are in the liberal field, which is funny, which is why I don't really side with a lot of liberals, because their whole ideology eats its own. Like, you can't diversify yourself. You have to always toe the line, and he got a little bit of backlash for it, for him, just people seeing the name. They didn't even listen to the lyrics at all. But I enjoyed the song. I like the lyrics. But yeah, I don't want to stay too long rambling. This is a great fucking album. If you're into metal, pick it up. If you support metal, pick it up. The one thing that I will say about this album that's sort of a con, but it's sort of how this band has always been. Ice-T really doesn't do metal vocals. You know what I mean? It's more like rap rock, if you want to really break it down. He's being a little bit louder than he usually is when he's rapping, but he's on this. You could consider it just rap rock to me. That's not really a bad thing, because I like a lot of rapcore type stuff, like E-Town Concrete, early E-Town Concrete, early Papa Roach shit, but this is a mix between, metal, hardcore, and rap. And he even lists his influences on here on one of the tracks. He says that, when he was coming up, he always loved Black Sabbath, loved Suicidal Tendencies, and Slayer. Those were the three main influences. I know he's referenced X back in the day. I believe he referenced, Motorhead. Yeah, Motorhead. Rest in peace, Lemmy. But yeah, look, I know a lot of people are gonna be like, yo, you gotta do more metal reviews and all that shit, but it has to be intrinsic to me. It has to be pulled out of me, okay? So shout out to Ice-T, shout out to the rest of the guys in Body Count. This was a great album. My rating of it, I'll probably give it like a 8, probably solid 8. Great fucking album. I listened to it a few times. I enjoy it. It amps me up, and it's what I fucking ask for when it comes to Body Count. So everybody else, y'all know the deal. Leave your love, leave your hate. Most of all, subscribe. Support dope shit, and that's it. Peace, bitches.